Going into the woods alone at night can be downright terrifying. But what if you stumble upon something or someone you'd rather not face? Tonight, we're uncovering 6 of the most spine-chilling encounters ever caught on camera. These stories will have you thinking twice before ever setting foot in the woods alone again. Let's jump straight into the first unsettling encounter. The first video tonight comes from Nat Moran, a van life and adventure creator, documenting full-time nomadic living, off-grid challenges, and real-world experiences in remote locations. It is November 4th, 2023, at Glacier National Park, East Glacier, Montana, United States. Nat arrives at a KOA campsite in East Glacier, setting up for the night. The area feels calm, open views, autumn scenery, and a quiet atmosphere. She sets up shelter using tarps before switching to a gazelle tent, organizing camp while daylight remains.
So I found out that the other night when I thought I heard some rustling in the bushes, turns out that a customer reported there's a bear right outside of camp. So yeah, that's fun, especially since it's pitch black outside. That's one disadvantage to this setup. But I did order a gazelle tent, so that should be here in next week.
The bear remains in the area. It moves around the fire pit and nearby ground, likely following scent. The duration is what stands out. This isn't a quick pass-through, but sustained presence. Nat stays inside, monitoring rather than reacting, avoiding sudden movement that could draw attention.
I knew that there was a grizzly because, there's been 3 sightings yesterday. There's fresh bear scat right by my camp. And then there was a sighting down the ways, maybe, on the other side of this campground. And then on the nature trail in the campground.
Strong wind begins affecting the tent. The structure collapses multiple times, forcing quick adjustments. Each failure reduces shelter reliability, increasing exposure, not just to weather, but to the surroundings. In these conditions, maintaining setup becomes part of staying safe.
This tent collapsed, so it has these little pop-out things. That thing collapsed on me 3 or 4 times in the middle of the night. Freaked me out because I was like, is it a bear? Because the night before, a bear came into my camp. Anyway, so that was annoying. And I don't know. I've broke 2 of the pieces on the rainfly that connect to the tent. So I've had to jimmy rig that. So that's a bit annoying. It should not have broken. And I also received it.
Nat adapts the setup. She repositions the tent and uses the vehicle as a windbreak, reducing exposure and stabilizing the environment. The response is controlled, adjusting to conditions rather than abandoning the site. This experience is shaped by overlapping factors. Wildlife presence and environmental conditions both add pressure, each manageable on its own, but more difficult together. The bear never directly approaches the tent, but its proximity keeps the situation active. Nat's ability to stay controlled, adapt her setup, and avoid escalation is what keeps the situation stable, and it highlights a key reality of remote camping. Even when everything feels calm at first, the environment can change very quickly. Before we move on, if you're enjoying the video so far, leaving a like really helps. And if you haven't subscribed yet, now's a good time. We recently passed 50,000 subscribers, and that's entirely because of you. The next target is 100,000 before the end of the year. Ambitious, but worth aiming for. There's a hidden word somewhere in this video. See if you can spot it. Now, let's continue. The next horrifying video comes from the Hoggatt Project, a creator focused on solo camping, bushcraft, and documenting real-time experiences in remote wilderness. It is September 15th, 2024 on a remote mountain trail in the Pacific Northwest, United States. Heavy rain sets in as he settles under a tarp for the night. The downpour dominates the soundscape, hitting the tarp and surrounding trees constantly. In conditions like this, background noise becomes overwhelming, masking distant movement and making it harder to detect changes nearby. Earlier, he had found fresh bear scat in the area. That context shifts how the environment is perceived, even before anything happens.
Now, I hope the camera's picking this up, but there's some weird noises going on. Right there.
He suddenly pauses, listening. Through the rain, a metallic clicking sound is heard somewhere beyond the campsite. The tone stands out against natural noise, distinct enough to separate from rain or wind. He scans the tree line with a flashlight, but visibility is limited. Between darkness and heavy rainfall, anything beyond a short distance remains obscured. Without a visual source, the sound becomes the only reference point. This moment is brief, but effective. There's no clear visual, no confirmation of what caused the sound, only a distinct noise in an environment where visibility and awareness are already reduced. The earlier sign of wildlife adds context, but not clarity. And in conditions like this, where sound is limited and sight is restricted, even a single unexplained noise is enough to shift the entire atmosphere of the night. The next chilling video comes from Stealth Camp Sweethearts, a US-based camping channel following Michael and Ashley as they document stealth camps, off-grid overnights, and unusual locations in real time. It is March 10th, 2026, in a remote rural area in the United States, centered around an abandoned house.
This is Michael and Ashley.
Stealth Camp Sweethearts. Here at this old house that's falling apart, but we're going to try to camp over here behind it.
Yeah, we ain't far from the house, so we dropped our stuff off. I'm fixing to show you, and then we're going to go park our car at the house, and then we're going to walk back down here. And we're getting a late start.
Yeah.
But this is the house. And we're going to try to camp back here behind this well house or whatever. That is a well right there. We're going to try to stay right here for the night.
Yeah.
Well, that's our view, but we're fixing to go get the car parked, so we already had one car ride by.
Yeah.
So, but we'll see you here in a little bit. Just look at that sunset. Can't breathe.
No, we did a lot of walking today.
on a full stomach.
Yeah.
Sorry if this ain't that steady, because we're walking. There's the house. Silhouette of the house.
Yeah. And a beautiful sunset.
Yeah, it's pretty. Alright, we're fixing to run for it, get in our spot, try to set up before anybody comes by. Oh, we made it. Now, maybe we can get everything set up before it gets too dark.
Yeah.
Michael and Ashley arrive at a deteriorating house and set up camp behind it. The structure provides partial cover, but also limits visibility of the surrounding area. They work to stay concealed from passing cars, using the building and darkness to reduce detection. While setting up, they check sightlines with night vision, highlighting how exposed the location could be, depending on angle and lighting.
Flashed for a second and went off. Because it wasn't a little light, it was a big ball of white light. And then it just shut off.
Oh, I was seeing something right there. We see actually still seeing lights and I'm hearing movement, so I'm gonna walk down the road, see if we can see anybody out in that field. She's seen it, I can't see it, so.
It's like a flashlight and then it disappears, so I don't know.
We're gonna walk down the road, see what we can see. Oh, I just saw it.
Did you just see it?
Yeah.
I saw it too. I think somebody's out in that field.
I'll shine the flashlight out so I know we're there now.
I know. You finally saw it though. I'm glad you finally saw it.
I did see the light, like you said, it flashed and went off.
Yeah. And there's no lightning bugs or anything like that. And it's too big to even have been that.
Oh, that dogs.
Yeah, I hear a dog.
Later in the night, a bright white light appears in a nearby field. It flashes intermittently, then disappears. At the same time, movement is heard in the surrounding woods. With limited visibility, it's difficult to judge distance or source. In open rural areas, light can travel far, making it hard to tell whether it's close or further away than it appears. They move toward the road to investigate, but find no clear explanation. The combination of light and sound, without confirmation, keeps the situation unresolved. Nothing is identified directly, but the overlap of unexplained light and nearby movement shifts the tone of the camp. What began as a controlled, hidden setup becomes uncertain. With no clear source and limited visibility, the environment becomes harder to read, and that uncertainty is what leads them to leave early. In situations like this, it's not always what you see, but what you can't confirm that changes the decision. The next shocking video comes from Moxley's Paranormal World, a UK-based channel focused on real-time investigations in forests and abandoned locations. It is March 26, 2026, in a forest in the United Kingdom. Moxley and his son arrive and set up camp in a dense woodland area. The terrain is uneven, with limited visibility between trees. As light fades, the environment becomes quieter, making smaller sounds more noticeable. They reference reports of unusual activity, which influences how the surroundings are interpreted from the start.
It's like a humming noise. Like somebody who's... What the fuck was that? Whoa, what the hell was that? It was like a huge reddish flash. I keep feeling like something's behind me, you know. People walking around outside the tent.
A sudden rustling breaks the silence. Likely wildlife, but the abruptness keeps tension high. In quiet environments, even minor movement can feel amplified.
Pedler?
Yeah.
Did you hear people then?
Yeah, there's two lads, I think.
Which way did they go, do you know?
You know where you went up the
Say again?
You know the forest where you went up at the back?
Oh yeah?
I think you went up there.
I knew I heard someone.
Yeah, two lads, I'm pretty sure.
Startled me that though. It sounded like they were right next to us.
Yeah, it did.
Just literally just sat here watching this movie. Not even a movie, TV series. This. Then just out of nowhere, I hear this talking. It's like, not Bradley getting out his tent. And it got closer and closer. Yeah, as Bradley just said, sounds like they've walked up. But where? I walked up before when I was, well, debating going back up. Bloody hell. That's all we need, isn't it? 2 degrees now. It's getting cold. Right, very cold. I have to keep like cleaning the lens on the camera because it keeps steaming up. Right, I think what I'm going to do, carry on watching this. I think I'll go for a little bit of a walk and we'll pull some equipment out.
A loud shout or scream echoes through the forest. The source isn't identified. Sounds like this can carry long distances at night, especially in still conditions.
Like I've heard flashing light. General. People have seen and heard. People have seen shadowy figures out here. Others have heard crying, moaning, laughing. Is there any truth behind it? And if so, is it you? And would you like to come out here and come and speak to me tonight? Been out here about 6 hours now. So it'd be great if you'd come forward, come and speak to me. Come and tell me who you are.
Another red light appears near the camp. It flickers briefly before disappearing. Without a clear origin, it adds to the pattern of unexplained visual moments. This encounter builds through repetition. Light, sound, and movement all occur, but none are clearly defined. Each moment has a possible explanation on its own. But together, they create a consistent sense of activity around the camp. And in environments like this, where visibility is limited and sound carries easily, that uncertainty is what keeps the tension throughout the night. The next video comes from Aaron Evans, a UK-based outdoor creator focused on wild camping, tarp shelters, and overnight woodland trips in difficult weather conditions. It is January 31st, 2026, in a remote woodland area, United Kingdom. Aaron and his brother arrive late in the day with their dog, Bailey. Rain is already falling, and light is fading quickly. With limited time, they choose a small clearing and begin setting up a tarp shelter instead of a tent. Aaron notes it's a setup he hasn't used before, In worsening weather, that adds uncertainty. There's little margin to adjust once conditions fully set in.
So, first thing I did was stick it in the ground on that side, and it's quite low. I want it to be a bit more opened out, so I'm going to make it higher and attach it to this tree over here and see if that looks cooler. Well, that is just fantastic. Cool. That's so good. I am so happy about that. That is literally, that's perfect. This needs tightening up a little bit down here, so maybe in that point. Apart from that, I'm super happy about this. Might as well get the most important thing. Oh my god, I'm buzzing! Look at that, that's so good. And then I'll just have like, you have my bed there, sleeping.
The weather intensifies. Rain becomes heavier and turns into hail, striking the tarp and surrounding ground. Temperature drops, and the environment shifts from uncomfortable to more demanding. Sound from the storm also reduces awareness of anything beyond the immediate area.
In the tent, so she can't wander, and then I'm going to set up the rest of my bed, and I'm sleeping out here. I'm probably going to put this thing down as well, just because I don't like the idea that there's a puddle forming above my head. So at least if it's in a teepee style or an A-frame style, then I will.
Water begins pooling above the tarp. A visible bulge forms overhead, showing how quickly weight can build during sustained rain. Combined with cold temperatures, the situation becomes more about managing conditions than resting. He prepares a hot water bottle to retain heat inside the sleeping bag.
How comfortable sleeping on a flat surface is until you don't. Right now, this is on a bit of an angle, and I can already feel my body rotating to the left, which means every time I doze off in the night, I'll be woken up by myself trying to correct, which will be like every 15-20 minutes. So it's just something to think about. And on that note, I'm going to go to sleep. It's like 3 AM, and I've just spent most of the night tossing and turning. It's 7:21. I kind of slept it.
Sleep becomes difficult. The ground is uneven, causing him to slide repeatedly. With cold, moisture, and instability, rest is constantly interrupted. By early morning, fatigue becomes the main factor, rather than the weather itself. This experience is driven by accumulation. Rain, cold, shelter limitations, and poor ground conditions all build over time, each manageable on its own, but more difficult together. Nothing fails completely, but nothing fully stabilizes either. By morning, the shelter has held, and the situation remains under control. But it highlights a key reality of setups like this. Even when everything works, conditions can still make the night far more demanding than expected. Before we get into the next clip, around 70% of people watching aren't subscribed. We're working toward 100,000 subscribers by the end of the year. And if you're enjoying the video, hitting subscribe really does help. All right, let's get back to it. The last video of the night comes from Wandering Simon, a UK-based solo outdoor adventure channel focused on remote hiking, camping, and immersive wilderness experiences. It is December 12th, 2024, in a remote forest, Scotland, United Kingdom. Simon enters a dense forest near Bon Reservoir, searching for a place to set up. The canopy limits light early, making the environment feel darker than the time of day suggests. Wind and movement through leaves carry clearly, with no other background noise to mask it. The isolation is immediate, no visible paths or nearby activity.
I was able to lose weight quickly, but I wasn't able to sustain that lifestyle. So this time I'm hoping I'll be able to introduce some small changes that I will just keep up for the rest of my life, for the foreseeable future. Like eating, let's say, sweets and things that aren't as healthy on the weekends, and trying not to do that during the week. I think it's a good step. It's a balanced way of still enjoying all the foods that I want, but in more limited way. As you know, I'm trying to do more hiking, more camping, so my bag was probably about 12 kilos today.
By night, he sits alone beside a small fire. The fire creates a controlled area of light, but everything beyond it disappears into darkness. This contrast limits awareness of the surroundings, making it harder to judge distance or direction. Each sound stands out more clearly against the silence.
Would you stay by yourself in a forest like this? Let me know in the comments below. But even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, because God is with me.
Back at camp, he reflects on the experience. The environment remains quiet, but never completely still. Small, continuous sounds maintain a low level of tension, even without any direct event. This experience is defined by atmosphere rather than incident. There are no clear encounters, only the combination of darkness, limited visibility, and constant ambient sound. Each element is natural, but together, they change how the environment feels. And in remote forests like this, where nothing is clearly visible beyond a short distance, that subtle uncertainty is what lingers the most. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed these 6 spine-tingling encounters, be sure to like the video and subscribe for more chilling and terrifying videos. There's always another mystery waiting to be uncovered, and you won't want to miss what's next. Stay tuned, and we'll see you in the next video.